Next up on the prospect roundup for the Toronto Maple Leafs, we'll head to the NCAA prospects. All our prospects playing out in the NCAA divisions. First on the list, we got Dakota Joshua, the forward drafted in the fifth round in 2014. He has 3 goals, 5 assists for 8 points in 12 games, playing with Ohio State University, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Dakota in his 4th year, he's a senior playing for the Buckeyes, looking to have a big season. Coming off a 26-point season last year. The year prior, he had 35 points in 33 games with Ohio State. So looking for him to start getting it going, bust out as the season goes on in Ohio State. Next up is his teammate now, Ryan O'Connell, also a Leafs draft pick, drafted 2017, 7th round. But he's got no goals. He's a freshman looking to get started at The Ohio State University, playing alongside a fellow Leafs prospect. The freshman joining, like I just said, Dakota playing in a Division I program can be good. He came out of BCHL, Ryan did, so look for him to get going at The Ohio State University. Currently with no points. Next on the list is goaltender Joseph Woll, drafted in 2016, 3rd round. He's got 8 games played. He owns a 2.52 goals against average and a 9.14 saves percentage, playing with the Boston College Eagles. The goaltending prospect looked good at rookie camp for the Leafs, looking to round out his game in his 3rd year with the Eagles. Hopefully having some success down there in Boston College. Maple Leafs goaltending depth did take a major hit this year after losing 2 goalies to waivers, so Woll could get some time with the Marlies next year, depending on what he's doing in college this year. And next, we will go to the Maple Leafs prospects playing in the Canadian Hockey League, so that's the OHL, WHL, and stuff like that. First on the list, we got Ryan McGregor, drafted 6th round, 2017. He has 8 goals and 12 assists for 20 points in 22 games with the Sarnia Sting so far. The forwards wearing the C. McGregor's looking good as the captain. Had a terrific start to this year in the OHL and will look to continue building as the season progresses. Ryan had his best season last year with 32 points in 50 games in the O. So hopefully he can build on that. And McGregor's going to be looking to fight for a Marley spot come next year, hopefully. Next on the list is defenseman Mac Hollowell, drafted 4th round in 2018. Has 8 goals and 12 assists for 20 points in 18 games this season with the Sioux Greyhounds. The defenseman's having a good year. Impressed coaches at the rookie camp with the Leafs, out in training camp at Marlies camp. But letting him round out in his game and dominate down in the OHL has definitely been key for him in his 4th year of major junior. So look for him to continue developing. Mac had a breakout season last year with the Greyhounds, finishing with 56 points in 63 games. Look for him to get into the blue line, hopefully for the Marlies, very shortly in the next year or two. Semyon Deraguchintsev, drafted 3rd round. Everybody knows him at SDA. Drafted 3rd round, 2018. Has 1 goal, 12 assists, and 21 games played with the Peterborough Petes in the OHL. SDA, as he's widely known, and is an interesting prospect and the youngest one drafted last year. With a late birthday, Semyon had time to grow in his body and allow his game to develop. He showcased his talents out at the rookie camp for the Maple Leafs and Marlies and stayed with the Leafs for a little bit, earning himself an entry-level contract with the Leafs organization. So look for SDA to get a little bigger and grow out a little bit more, and hopefully he can continue. He's been mimicked as a Mitch Marner type player, so look for him and see what he can do. Next on the list, I got Fedor Gordiev, drafted 5th round in 2017, has 1 goal and 10 assists for 11 points with the Flint Firebirds. Gordiev started his OHL career with the Hamilton Bulldogs before being dealt to the Flint Firebirds 2 seasons ago. Anyone who follows OHL hockey knows Flint has had a tough few years. Their team clinched the first win just a few games ago for this season. So seeing Gordiev producing on the blue line is some positive signs. Gordiev is also playing with Ty Dellandrea, who is on the Flint Firebirds. And Gordiev spent some time in the Junior B GOJHL with the Ancaster Avalanche, who are now the Hamilton Kilty Bees. Looking for some Junior B talent. There you go. Gordiev has been there and he's made his way. So that's big news for the Junior B ranks in Ontario. Sean Dursey, the defenseman for your Toronto Maple Leafs, drafted in the 2nd round in 2018, has 10 assists in 9 games with the Owen Sound attack so far. Dursey, 2nd year overager in the draft. He's definitely looking to have a big year down there. That's why the Marlies sent him back down, was to let him dominate and get some big minutes down there with the Owen Sound attack in the OHL. So he's a big D-man. He has offensive talent, but can play a solid defensive-minded game. So look for Dursey. Hopefully he can crack that Marlies blue line next year once some players get moved around. Next on the list, we have Riley Stotts, the centerman out of the WHL right now, was drafted round 3 in 2018. He has 5 goals, 7 assists for 12 points in 16 games with the Calgary Hitmen. Riley's wearing the A this year for the Hitman in his second season and first full season with the team after joining from Swift Current Broncos after playing 22 games with the Broncos before joining the Hitman. He had 41 points to end last year in 47 games. Like I said, he played 22 with Swift Current before those 47 games. He had a breakout year after joining the Hitmen, so hopefully he can have a big year this year with the Hitman in a full year with them. Next on the list, we got defenseman Philip Kral, was drafted 5th round in 2018. Playing in the WHL, has 5 points in 8 games with the Spokane Chiefs. Kral's looking to build on his second season in the WHL after finishing last year with 35 points in 54 games. Next on the list is Ian Scott, the goaltender, drafted 4th round in 2017. And folks, if you have not heard, Ian Scott has been off to a hot start this year in the WHL. One of the best goalies in this entire Canadian Hockey League, and likely to see some time, one of the key names to see some net time for the World Juniors for Canada. Drafted 4th round in 2017. He has 18 games played, a 1.39 goals against average, a 9.50 saves percentage, folks. 18 games and he's got under 1.5 goals against a game. This kid has been a stone wall for the Prince Albert Raiders in the WHL. I get nutty every time I see another win for him. I'm so happy for him. I'm glad he's a Leafs goalie prospect. I can't wait to see what he does next year for us. Hopefully he gets some time. Hopefully we can pull him in there now that the goalie depth has been hurt a bit. One of the best goalies in the entire CHL. Hopefully Scott continues to shine for the remainder of this year, and he's off to an impressive start. And last but not least on the list, we have Zachary Botillier from the QMJHL, also the goaltender, 7th round selection in 2018, has 10 games played. He's off to a bit of a rough start, 3.98 goals against average and an 8.72 saves percentage with the Chicoutimi Seguinines in the Q. Botillier was impressive at Leafs rookie camp, looking to get back to what he was doing last year and have some success this year. And we will have one prospect playing out in the United States Hockey League, and that's James Greenway, the defenseman, drafted 3rd round in 2016. He's got 11 points in 17 games with the Dubuque Fighting Saints. And Greenway spent 2 seasons at the University of Wisconsin with the Badgers. He's a solid D-man, looking to get some kind of offensive production going for the rest of this year and, just round out his game as a defenseman with the Marlies.